Okay, everybody, welcome to Hudl 101 for parents and athletes. I am super excited to have you all here for our Hudl for Athletes session. So we will go ahead and get started. We wanted to make sure that we offered an athlete session for this training workshop because you guys are such a huge part of what we do. Our company's mission is we help teams and athletes win. It doesn't say we help teams and coaches win. We wanted to make sure we put a huge emphasis on athletes because you guys are really what lights our fire. There's nothing better than hearing a success story of an athlete who made it to the next level with the help of Hudl. So here's our agenda and what we're going to be covering today. So we'll talk a little bit about video review. You've probably been to a team film review session before, but today I want to show you how you can use stats and video that your coach has added on Hudl to do video review on your own. Then we'll talk about highlights. Creating highlights on Hudl and being able to share them on social media or with college coaches is key to getting to the next level. We'll go over some tips for managing your Hudl profile, and then we'll wrap it up by talking about the resources available as you get started with Hudl and how to get support when you need it. So some of you might have created playlists on Hudl before, or you may know how to access stats that your coach has added to Hudl. For those of you that have used Hudl in the past, you know that you can spend time on reviewing video on Hudl. So I know it can be tough to watch an entire game worth of video. You probably do just want to watch the parts of the game where you're actually playing. If your coach has added stats for your games, it's super easy to filter by your name and to see the plays where you touched the ball. So there's two main vocab words to keep in mind for this section, and that's clips and tags. A tag will show up at the bottom of the video. It's essentially marking every stat and when it occurred in the video. Not every game on your account will have tags. That all depends on if your coach has tagged the game or not. And with tags, it's really easy to look for specific moments. A clip is different than a tag. A clip is used to pull out an important moment from the video, and if you create a drawing or write a note on video, that will also create a clip. So clips can be sent to a playlist or highlights once they've been created. Let's go over tags first. So here on the bottom of this video here, you can see the tags, and they'll always be playing and scrolling below that video player there. So it's easy to find moments that are highlight worthy and send them to your own highlights. There's really no need to watch the entire game and clip out moments that are highlights. All of that work is done in a fraction of the time. So you'll see on the right-hand side that you have the option to filter by tags in the column. And if you're a hitter and you want to just see your swings, you can filter by your name and then your attacks. So from here, you can pull those moments out and save them to a playlist for video review later on, or you can send them to your highlights. No matter which you decide, your first step is going to be to add these tags to your clips so that you can save them. So to do that, you'll click Add to Your Clips, and then you'll click the Your Clips tab. Here, you'll see the 14 attacks that we just added to our clips. Now, you can choose to save them to a playlist or to a highlight. To share them in a playlist, you'll simply click Share in Playlist, and then you can start typing in the box to give your playlist a name. Then you'll choose who you want to share it with. You'll have access to the playlist since you're creating it, and any team administrators on your team will also automatically have access to any playlist that's being created. You can share it with your whole team if you want, or you can share it with specific athletes or coaches. To do that, click the drop-down next to the group's name and give them access to contribute to, edit, or manage the playlist. When you're done, you'll click Save Restricted Playlist, and that playlist will then go live in your library along with the other videos on your account. Now, like I mentioned, you can also share the clips in a highlight. To do that, you'll click Send to Highlights, and you'll get a confirmation box at the bottom of your screen letting you know the clips were successfully sent to your highlights. We'll go over more on that in the next section of this presentation. So now that we've talked about tags, let's talk about clips. Clips allow you to pull moments out of the video for playlists or highlights, but these aren't created from tags. So if you have a game that doesn't have tags on it, you can manually create your clips, and in the video player, when you find a moment that you'd like to pull out for a clip, you'll click Create Clip. By default, that's going to create a 7-second clip, but you can always make it longer or shorter by dragging the ends of the blue bar. You'll follow that same workflow until you have all of your clips created, and then check the circle on any clips you want to save in a playlist or highlight. Then click Share in Playlist or Send to Highlights and follow the same steps we worked through before. Next, we're going to talk about highlights. So creating highlights is a great way to get noticed by college coaches and recruiters, and it's also just a great way to celebrate your best moments of the season. So we'll get started on looking at highlights. So when we say next level, there's all kinds of next levels that you could be aiming for. That could be NCAA D1, D2, NAIA, or junior college, or maybe you don't want to play in college, and that's totally fine. Using highlights on Hudl to celebrate the great moments of your high school career is easy to do. Whatever that next level is for you, it all starts with highlights. So we already showed you how to create, how to highlight tags and clips. So let's just jump right into creating that premium highlight reel. To get to your highlights, your first tendency might be to click the highlights tab at the top of your page, and that is actually incorrect. So that would take you to your team's highlight page, which is also great to see, but this isn't where you'd create your own highlight videos. You'll want to hover over your name and click on Your Highlights. This will take you to your own highlights page. Here you can create highlights, edit them, and share your highlights on social media, or grab a link to the video to share in an email or message to someone else. There's also a difference between game and premium highlights. So the game highlights would be where all of the clips in that highlight are from the same game. And then a premium highlight is where it includes clips from different games. So I'm going to hop into an account here and show you how it's done. So this is what your homepage would look like. You'll hover over your name and go to Your Highlights. Once you're on this page, you'll click Create Highlight. You'll then click the plus button. From there, you'll click Videos. If you're on more than one team, you can click the drop down to select which team you want to create highlights from. If you want to make a multi-sport highlight, there's an all teams option, and it'll show you clips you've tagged from all the teams you're on. So again, if you were listed on more than one team, it would show them here, and you would just filter between them. So click the name of the game that you want to create highlights from, and check the box next to the clip you'd like to add. So let's say I wanted to select these two. I'll then click Add 2 clips to your reel. It'll show you that those 2 clips have been added, and then you can go back. So here is where you can actually edit the clip if you need to, and to do so, you can just click that little pencil icon. So let's say this is exactly how I want it. I'll say Done. And from here, you really can edit it how you need to. So let's say I've got everything of my highlight, every part of my highlight done. I'm good with how it is. This is how I want it. I've added all my clips. You can see here that at any point you can add more clips here. You can add music, photos if need be. So then you'll click Publish. Oh, I have to give it a title. Let's just say Test. And then click Publish. Here you'll have the option to share it on Facebook, Twitter, or get a link for it. But either way, it will load onto here once it's ready. So now that you know how to create a highlight on Hudl, let's talk about what should be included in that highlight. If getting recruited is your why, the truth is that it all starts with highlights. You might think an email saying, "Hey coach, I'm really interested in playing at your school," is a good starting place, and that's a huge myth. It might get you on their list, but it's not going to get you prioritized. Before you contact coaches, you need to create a highlight reel, and then you can contact them. And instead of a message talking about how great of a player you are, you now have the video to back it up. And you can let them know if you're playing in a tournament they might be at. They'll prioritize coming to you if they like what they see in that video. But it needs to be a good highlight. So now that you know your first step is creating a highlight, make sure it includes what recruiters want to see in a well-organized manner. First off, you'll want to keep your highlight short, less than 2 minutes long. Spotting the key player, in this case you, should be easy, almost mindless for the recruiter. Don't make them search for you. You can use effects like spot shadows or arrows to point yourself out. An organized video is key. So chronological order isn't necessarily important. Instead, you should grab the attention of the recruiter as early as possible. In other words, put your best plays first. And since you likely have more than one skill to show off, make sure you keep it versatile. This will also help hold the recruiter's attention, and we'll show you all the tools to make that all happen. Now, let's talk about how that highlight should be organized to grab attention and showcase your skills. You know that your top plays should come first, but then what? Try to group your top 3 skills and emphasize them with transition slides. Remember, start with your best. And to keep the highlight short, each of these sections should only be about 30 to 45 seconds. You'll want to begin with an opening slide that includes your name, position, graduation year, and the name of your club team. And if you've built a strong resume, add a second slide with a list of your awards and accomplishments. After your opening slide or slides, it's time to hit them with your best shot. So find your top 10 plays, and then be sure you keep them up to date. For instance, if you're a libero, include your top 10 digs and passes to wow recruiters right off the bat. This is the most important part of your highlight video. Most coaches know after watching a highlight video if you're the type of athlete they're interested in. So make sure that you pick your best plays from the season and always keep it updated. After you've showcased your top 10 plays, it's time to break it up and show individual skills. You need to identify your strengths and put them in order, starting with your strongest area. For example, maybe you're an outside hitter that isn't the best attacker, but you're great at passing and serving. Use the first 2 sections to show off your passing and serving, and then finish up with attacking. And last but certainly not least, be sure to include your coach's contact information. And in addition to everything you included on the title slide, you'll want to add your coach's name and email so that recruiters have a way to find out more about you. So, keeping your profile up to date on Hudl is crucial if you're looking to get recruited. Your profile is going to look exactly the same whether you're on Hudl or Hudl Classic. To get to your profile, you'll hover over your name and select your profile. This is what your profile looks like. If your coach has your team's profile set to public, anyone would be able to find this page on Google. Your timeline is going to show any recent highlight activity that you've done. Videos is going to show all of your highlights you've created, and if your coach creates highlights for you, those are also going to show up here. About is going to show your information, and I will show you how to edit this information. So you go here, go to your profile. I can click About. And then if I want to edit profile, here is basically where you can enter any of your information here that you think might be important to recruiters. So in basic information up here, you see we're on the basic tab. You can add photos and edit information like primary sport and primary position. If you click highlights, it's just going to take you back to that highlights page. If you click the athletic tab here, you'll have the option to add some stats about yourself that might be appealing to college coaches. So remember, anyone can see this, and it's super important to be honest. You also have the option to add your GPA, ACT, and SAT scores under academic information. This information is not public. This will only be shown if your coach sends a college coach your recruiting package. And then making sure that your contact information is updated is super important. If you notice that the coach on your team is wrong, you can reach out to the coach and they'll be able to update it for you. And last but not least, any awards and achievements that you'd like to highlight can be added here. And when you're done, you can just go back to your basic profile and it will all update there. So, like I said, keeping your profile up to date on Hudl is crucial if you're looking to get recruited. We're really excited for you to get your hands on all of these tools. I know that we threw a lot at you today, but don't worry, we're always here to help and to listen. When you're wondering how to do something, you can always check out our athletes section at hudl.com/support to see step-by-step tutorials. And then last but not least, this is the Athlete's Guide to Hudl. This is pretty new in the recent months, so this will help you learn how to use our tools with this resource. Basically, it's 7 videos that walk you through everything you can do in your account. So like I said, it can be overwhelming to learn about all of the features we have to offer, especially while you're juggling practices, tournaments, schoolwork, and any other extracurricular activities that you might be involved in. We'll make sure that you're set up with the resources you need and know how to get extra support. If you ever need help, just reach out to our support team via email, and we would be happy to help you out. And your coach is also a great resource as you get started with Hudl. So that is all I have for you guys today. If you have any questions, feel free again to reach out to our support team, support@hudl.com, or your coach is also a great resource. So again, that's all I have. If you have any questions, let us know, and we wish you luck in your upcoming season. Thank you.